Thank you very, very much, Ayanda. Now moving on to a very, very important issue. According to the Foundation for Alcohol-Related Research, or FAR, South Africa has the highest fetal alcohol syndrome rate in the world. An estimated 3 million children are born with FAS every single year in South Africa. FAS is caused by women drinking alcohol during pregnancy. Ahead of Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorder Day on the 9th of September, FAR has embarked on a program together with its partners to raise awareness on this syndrome. Well, joining us now in studio is Leana Olivier. She is the CEO for the Foundation for Alcohol-Related Research. Welcome. Good to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Fetal alcohol syndrome, I mean, it's something that's been around for a very, very long time. One would think, with all the education drives, that it would be getting better, but from what I've read, it doesn't seem to be that case.
Unfortunately, the message is not getting to everybody. So programs like this is wonderful to get them to spread the message and to make people also aware. I always say, now that you know the message, please help us to tell other people as well. And in South Africa and in the world, there are also still a lot of mixed messages. You quite often still find doctors telling pregnant women that it's fine to drink 1 or 2 glasses of alcohol during the day, whilst the correct message is no alcohol is safe during pregnancy.
Yeah. Let's not scare mothers at the moment that have perhaps been dabbling in a glass of wine a week, or they are pregnant. And I mean, I remember being told as well, I mean, if you want to, you can have a glass of bubbly or you can have a glass of wine. It's not going to be bad. But you're saying absolutely not. Do not even think of having a single glass.
We always say rather be safe than sorry. The important thing to remember is you might know how your body metabolizes alcohol while you're not in a pregnant state. But it's not how your body breaks down the alcohol. It's how the unborn baby's immature liver deals with the alcohol. So that's the scary part. So when we're pregnant, we shouldn't just think about ourselves. We also should think about the unborn baby. And it is difficult to abstain from alcohol, but at least it's only for 9 months.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's now look at different scenarios, because I remember a few years back we did a broadcast from one of the wine areas here in South Africa, and that turned into a major issue of women drinking while they were pregnant, perhaps being paid through alcohol, issues like that. Now, you're talking about the abuse of alcohol while pregnancy versus a glass or 2 during your entire pregnancy.
Yeah.
Is there a limit? I mean, that we're meaning?
Unfortunately, in cases like this, because of the devastating effect of alcohol on the unborn baby, you have to be a little extreme to say, you don't know what your body is going to do and my body, then rather play it safe, rather be safe than sorry. I remember that program, you interviewed us as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the first research in South Africa was done in the winelands, and specifically amongst farm workers. So that created the myth in South Africa that fetal alcohol syndrome is only present in some cultural groups, and it's caused by systems like the TOT system and so. But that is actually not true, because in our research that we've done in cities like Johannesburg and now again in Bethelsdorp, which I want us to talk about a little bit more, is we found that it doesn't matter what type of alcohol you drink. The fact that you're drinking alcohol is putting your child at risk. And yes, some people can stick to 1 glass a week or so, and others not. So therefore, the extreme message of rather no alcohol during pregnancy.
Tell me about this research that you just conducted.
Yeah, specifically what I mentioned now is our research in Bethelsdorp area in Port Elizabeth. Now, as you might know, our research has always been focused on the Western Cape and the Northern Cape, and then also in Gauteng. No research has been done up to date in the Eastern Cape. And in the Eastern Cape, there were quite sensational reports about women allegedly drinking intentionally to harm their children, to get disability grants for their children. And the Eastern Cape Liquor Board became very concerned about these reports and then ask the Foundation for Alcohol-Related Research to look into the matter to see if this is really the case, and then also to start awareness and prevention programs. And South African Breweries is funding our project there, so this might be interesting, but this is just an indication, and this is what we from the Foundation is also supporting, that all of us in South Africa, all stakeholders, whether you're a wine farmer, whether you're a user, whether you're a manufacturer or a distributor, all of us should stand together to address this terrible problem of fetal alcohol syndrome in South Africa.
Let's have a look at the common features in children that are affected by fetal alcohol syndrome. What happens to that child?
A lot of people focus on the facial features, but very few people realize that about 70% of children who have fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, the bigger syndrome, don't have any facial features. So we're trying to get away from the features, and we're focusing on the because children with fetal alcohol syndrome, they've got brain damage, permanent, irreversible brain damage. We focus on the learning disabilities and then the interpersonal type of disabilities, because this is a lifelong condition. So mums with children with fetal alcohol syndrome will report right from birth. They're smaller than other children, and they've got these developmental delays, and of course it becomes much more profound when they're in school with the learning disabilities.
Yeah, so it sets them up for a very difficult course in life by giving them a start like that. Do you even find that some kids, I mean, I was watching a report recently on mothers that are addicts during their pregnancy, and these kids are actually born addicts as well.
Yes.
Do you find that the case?
Yes, and in South Africa we more and more see that we must remember alcohol is the first drug of choice.
Yeah.
So quite often women would use alcohol and then use other drugs as well. So quite often you see a mixed picture as well. I mean, in the Western Cape province we know about the problem of tic as well. So you see that mixed picture of a child being born being affected by alcohol and then affected by other drugs.
All right, so you've brought in this, I think it's a symbol of Fetal Alcohol Syndrome Day, which is the 9th of September. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, this is the knot that we all supposed to wear. I think you know the HIV/AIDS knot, but this knot is made of a piece of rope. Yeah. So I'm now going to use this bigger one that you're not going to wear, the bigger one here to explain. Okay, so the rope symbolizes the umbilical cord or the central nervous system. Now on this little one you can see the ends are frayed, on the bigger one as well. Now this symbolizes the damage to the central nervous system if a mum uses alcohol during pregnancy. The circle symbolizes the brain of the child, but also the uterus or the womb, where the baby is supposed to develop healthy with the right food and drink and whatever. Then the knot. The story is that this is a fisherman's knot. You use it in sailing, so then you want a safe knot. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not going to be a Chuck Norris here, but if you put pressure on, you pull on the knot, you're supposed to be able to break the rope, but never the knot. Okay. Because the knot is just pulling tighter, and this symbolizes how strongly we should stand together to help pregnant women not to drink during pregnancy, and also to have alcohol-free pregnancies.
Really nice representation.
So please, we can leave this to you to wear tomorrow.
Maybe not the big one, but perhaps the small one we can do. Good luck.
Thank you.
I think it's a fantastic and a very, very sad state of affairs, especially when we're reading statistics that we have the highest rate in the world, which is very, very unacceptable. Tomorrow is the day that we're going to be focusing in on that. It is it's a fetal alcohol syndrome day. It's the 9th of September. It will, of course, be commemorated. I don't think there is another word to use.
Across the world.
Across the world, and certainly here in South Africa as well. Thank you for talking to us here on the program. The CEO for the Foundation of Alcohol-Related Research, Leana Olivier. Thank you very much for being our guest on the program.